Greetings, fellow time travelers and seekers of the unseen. You've just stepped into Tarot Through Time, where history's greatest icons meet modern-day magic, courtesy of the incomparable psychic tarot Andrew. Tonight we're cranking the cosmic dial to the 15th century and summoning the indomitable spirit of Joan of Arc herself. That's right. Buckle up, because we're about to blend ancient battlegrounds with celestial card spreads in a rendezvous that might just redefine your notion of divine guidance. Picture the clang of swords and the clash of faith echoing across medieval France, while above it all, the timeless wisdom of the tarot waits, ready to reveal hidden messages from the past, present, and beyond. In this very episode, Psychic Tarot Andrew will draw cards for the maiden warrior who heard the voices of saints, led armies to victory, and sealed her place among legends. Prepare to watch as the tapestry of centuries unravels in real time, one card flip at a time. Light your candles, steady your hearts, and journey with us across the ages. This is Tarot Through Time, and history's about to get a major spiritual upgrade.
Welcome to another edition of Tarot Through Time. I'm your host, Psychic Tarot Andrew. And today we step into the smoke and flame of 15th century France, where war, faith, and prophecy collided in the form of one extraordinary young woman, Joan of Arc, a peasant girl who rose to command armies, defy kings, and reshape the course of history, guided not by her politics, but by voices only she could hear. Joan was born in 1412 in Domremy, a quiet village, and caught in the chaos of the 100 Years' War. At 13, she began to receive visions, mystical messages from saints, urging her to drive the English out of France and crown Charles VII. Armed with divine conviction and unwavering purpose, she convinced nobles, inspired soldiers, and led France to unlikely victories. But power, especially when held by someone so young and so female, always comes at a cost. Captured by her enemies, abandoned by her allies, Joan was put on trial and burned at the stake at the young age of 19. Yet her story did not end in ashes. Now, I drew 3 cards that I might have drawn if I was there for her, to uncover the spiritual truth behind her life, her mission, and her legacy. The first card is the Strength card. This is not brute force. It's courage, inner resolve, and the power of faith to overcome fear. Joan's strength was not physical. It came from an unshakable belief in her divine calling. The cards speak to the fire in her soul, her ability to stand in front of kings and generals and hold her ground. Strength tells us that her leadership wasn't just military, it was spiritual, and it moved nations. The second card is the High Priestess, a symbol of sacred knowledge, intuition, and divine mystery. Joan claimed to hear voices of saints, Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, and Saint Margaret. This card reminds us that she was deeply connected to something beyond the earthly realm. Now, whether those voices were divine, psychological, or symbolic, they guided her with profound clarity. The High Priestess suggests that Joan's power came from her ability to listen to something few others could hear. The final card is the Judgment card. The Judgment card represents rebirth, awakening. Joan's death was brutal, but her story did not die with her. She was later exonerated, canonized as a saint, and now stands as a symbol of faith, sacrifice, and conviction. Judgment tells us that her legacy lies not only in sainthood, but in every person who listens to a deeper inner voice and dares to follow it, even when the world says no. So, what do these cards reveal? Altogether, Strength shows us her divine courage. The High Priestess affirms her sacred connection. Judgment reminds us that her martyrdom became transformation. Joan of Arc was not just a warrior or a saint. She was a living channel for something far greater than herself. Her power was in her purity, her fearlessness, and her refusal to betray what she knew in her soul to be true. Thank you for walking through the fire with me as we uncovered the mystic path of Joan of Arc. In our next episode of Tarot Through Truth, we'll swap swords for sound waves and pull cards for a different kind of visionary, prince, artist, icon, enigma. Until then, stay open to your inner voice and let the cards reveal the truth. This has been Psychic Tarot Andrew. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and most importantly, share Psychic Tarot Andrew and AskPsychicDrew.com. Thanks. See you next time.
And that, dear travellers of time and spirit, brings our journey with the fearless Joan of Arc to a triumphant close. We've bridged centuries with a single card flip, peeling back layers of myth and legend to glimpse the burning passion that once lit the skies of medieval France. Under the guiding hand of Psychic Tarot Andrew, we've seen how a warrior's destiny and a modern-day reading can collide in sparks of revelation and maybe even rewrite our own stories along the way. As the mists of history settle, remember that the echoes of Joan's courage still ring loud, calling on us to fight for what we believe in, no matter the odds. Let this tale be your spark, your rallying cry, and your invitation to keep exploring the hidden corners of both past and present. Until next time, keep those swords sharpened, your hearts aflame, and your intuition wide open, because Tarot Through Time never truly ends. It only waits for the next leap back into the endless tapestry of legend.